Well, hi guys. I hope you can hear me. This is Mark Black, and this is Mark Teaches Music, and this is Promethean Studios, which is pretty much if you come for live lessons, and Mark Teaches Music is the online version of everything. So, welcome, and this is about 3 years ago started doing to play and sing questions, and the point is you ask all your musical questions. I know a whole lot about music and about learning and all kind of different stuff. Not everything, so I have a little asterisk by everything that says, "Hey man, I can say no," but a lot of things. And so the idea was to for me to and then I see all these famous people doing the same thing. The point is that people are like, "Hey man," uh, the famous person say, "Hey, ask all your questions," and nobody asks any questions. And so, anyway, so we're doing this, and so we did it for about a year and a half, maybe, and so I'm going to give it a shot again. And so, if you got your musical questions, you just need to dump them in here, and I dump them on the chat, so to speak. And basically, what I'm going to do is talk about very briefly. Going to talk about the issues or problems from students today, and talking about this week past lessons and some of their students. So I'm going to talk about that until you give me your questions. Now, what you should do is you should get your questions. You should ask me questions about music theory. You should ask me questions about could be tuning. You can ask me questions about mixed voice and chest voice and head voice, and what kind of reed should you wear, and what kind of strings if you're going to play jazz versus if you're going to play bluegrass versus if you're going to play metal on electric, or anything. What's the difference between a tenor and a soprano and an alto, not oboe, but recorder. So I'm just saying anything you could think of, including, which I think is not more important, but very important, is how to learn, things like, your personality affecting you, how you sing and play, what's success to you, what are you good at naturally, what are all these people good at, how do you fix the errors you have, like I'm want to be good at so and so, let's say ad-libbing, but and I'm not kidding, like temperamentally I stink at ad-libbing, I'm really bad at it temperamentally. They're talking about what's natural, but it's like, how do we fix that? If you want to ad-lib but you're not naturally gifted at it, or you want to sight read and you're not gifted at it naturally. Let me check this little widget here. It's telling me something. Well, okay, says okay. All right, so here I am, and I'm looking at Saturday students. That's what's today? Today's Wednesday. So Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, 4 days ago. Students from 4 days ago. Goodness gracious alive, this thing is in my way. I'm so sorry about that. Let me just do it again. Really loud. I'm sorry. Students from Saturday, 4 days ago, and so they're awesome. No, they really are. So my point in mentioning that is so here's some issue that two students having the issue of how to persist in working on your music, getting better when life is interrupting that. And it could be sickness, it could be injury, it can be work, it could be family. And one of the problems or issues about music in the face of adversity is that what music is about, like all the arts, is about creating, and I'm going to use the word artificial world, but I don't mean music is, or painting or dance or those things are artificial, fake, but they are not, they're not like about living and dying, they're about enriching our life. So anyway, when we do music, just like when you write a book or you paint a painting, you're saying, I want to transport you into this lovely, not fake, not artificial fake, but it's not really happening. So if I'm playing a song that's all dark, or it's all beautiful and lovely, we're not in that world. We're just in our room or on stage, even on stage. I mean, you're famous and you're rich and famous and powerful. You crush people. It's still just it's still, you're singing a song about, a girlfriend left me, but, actually my girlfriend's backstage, or actually I'm a millionaire, or actually I'm, thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands think I'm awesome. So that's fine. I mean, how is that real? So in the sense that music is not real, we're painting this other musical world. So here you are in life, and you're trying to work on your music, and you're trying to be, you know, make it exciting, make it dramatic, make it powerful, all this kind of stuff. And, you have to go out of town. You hurt yourself. You are sick. Your kids are having problems. You are having problems, financial problems, whatever. These things, and these things are coming in. And despite your best efforts, you can't not continue lessons per se, but, you couldn't practice as much as you meant to. You can't give it all you want. So what do? Well, you win the lottery. No, that's not it. You are persistent, and the idea is that I've only known a very few musicians who live the life. And I'm sorry about this stuff on my glasses here. Let's do this. See if it makes a difference. Oh, look at that. It's perfected it. No, I'm kidding. It's a little better, I suppose. So anyway, or is it better? I think so. It's a little better. So anyway, so it is you're having these problems, So the first thing, I've only known a few musicians, and I got to do this. Where'd it go? Well, there it is. And I've known many musicians. So I've only known a very few musicians who are able to practice like we think you should practice, which is, 3 to 5 hours or 10 hours a day, every day, you never miss, And they've all been people whose spouses had very prosperous jobs, and they could play without anybody bothering them. So there are many, many other people, though, that are marvelously successful musicians who can't do that. So what do? You are persistent. You keep on checking in. You keep on, when you do have time, you do practice. You try to flush away. Two things I want you to flush away is you flush away guilt. Guilt does not help. Even if you're guilty, who cares? If you're a lazy bum, sleep until 2:00 in the afternoon, it's like, well, that's not going to help anything in general. It doesn't help people. People don't tend to go, I feel so bad about not practicing that I'm going to practice. That usually doesn't happen, or doesn't happen for more than a day or two. Usually that guilt is debilitating. I need my pipe again. Debilitating. So rather, first off, whether you missed because you're sick, you missed because you had work, you missed because you're lazy, you just jump back in. That's your modus operandi. You're like, okay, I'm just going to jump back in, and it's going to be better. And then for 95% of you, that's exactly what you should do. And I'm thinking about specific people. I actually have specific names written up here. And so you jump back in. You don't think about, you flush away the ideas of, boy, I should have done this, or I just wasted a week, of not being able to practice or play. And you just get rid of that, because that's not helping anything. And the second thing is that you find little globs of time to stick in to where you can do your practice. I'm saying you like 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there. A day opens up. Some things lend themselves to intense work, like I'm working on so-and-so for 2 days or 2 hours at a row. And I'm just, as an example, songwriting is something like that. And lots of times exercises and songs are like that. We're kind of managing the long term and the short term. I'm talking about in our efforts anyway. It's like, we know how, if you're trying to play a scale and you play a scale at 40 and you're trying to play it at 240, how close are you going, how much are you going to move that target, in an hour of doing the same thing, going from 40, are you going to get to 240? Probably not. You might get to 240. You might get a really big increase on some little thing, or on a lick, perhaps on a song. It all depends on in many of the videos we talk about the uh, or have talked about, here's your skill, and here's way harder than you can do, and here's really easy for you to do. So it kind of depends on, for example, if the thing you were doing was like new, and it's like way up here. Okay, you can work for 2 hours, and you maybe bump it, because it's hard. If it was down here, it's like not almost you can do it, then you might work for an hour or two on something. But again, because you couldn't get the regular practice. Hey Tom, can you believe it? So anyway, if you couldn't get a regular practice in, you're doing these makeup practices, or again, not out of guilt, out of here's a bunch of time, I could do it. That's what I'm saying. That's the attitude. Here's some time, I could stick some time in here. Not I'm a bum. It's like no, I can do some time here. I can do 2 hours here, or an hour, whatever. Whereas I couldn't do 30 minutes for 4 days in a row. I couldn't do that. So I'm going to do the 2 hours, or the hour, or the 30 minutes, and let that keep priming the pump. So it's amazing. And if you're discouraged, remember, I have said this in many, I have to do it with what? I said this in many lessons, that you need to, you do the thing that is the least oppressive to you and the most fun for you. And you say, hey, gosh, that song I didn't practice it. Oh, it's been 2 weeks. I hadn't even looked at it. Then I'm giving you permission to play something else, to do something else. It's like if the scale exercise or chord exercise is bugging you and you're just not going to practice because of it, then don't practice it. Practice in something else, and hopefully we'll turn the corner, turn the tables on that discouragement, on that I hate so and so, because it's like music is great. Oh, I'm just loving this. Is so much fun. And then in the middle of that, you're kind of like, but I still can't play that lick. I still can't play that scale fast. I still can't ad lib well. And so, in other words, the reality of there's a reason for practicing. It's not just, teacher says, or my when I took lessons when I was 10, my teacher hit me on the hand and said you didn't practice enough, which is very possible. But that's not why we're practicing. We're practicing because we love music. We want to make music. We want to be awesome and exciting and dramatic and powerful in the music. The music you've got, I've said this many times, the music you've got on your playlist is all exciting, dramatic, powerful music to you. Somebody else might find it boring. Somebody else might find it just super busy and intellectual and just, ugh, I hate this. But to you, that music is gripping and powerful and dynamic. That includes classical music. That includes, band music, marching band music, or, symphonic band or concert band music. In other words, why you like that music. If it's classical music, you like it because you feel like I'm focused, or you feel like this is dramatic, or this is noble, or this is exciting, but in a almost in a military way, or in a not military band, but in a we're precise, we're working together, we're accomplishing these goals. All those are emotions. I'm sorry to say, you can think an emotion. Watch me love. Oh yeah, there it is. So anyway, so be persistent in the face of these life things. Don't give up. And many people have got big problems that keep them from practicing like they would. And then I had a former student just emailing, I guess it was today, yeah, and hadn't seen in a long time. Anyway, the point is like, and it's just, I've never quit, stopped practicing for a while, and when I came back, some of the things that I was working on and having trouble with just kind of slipped in and started working. I mean, I think it's because it's kind of persistence of vision, so to speak, that in the back of your mind, you're kind of like, how do I do that? And your fingers are going, almost, but then you go away from it and it kind of slips into place while you're not paying attention. Now, just as the next thing on my list, I'm going to go to it and say, so second thing, another student, Saturday, had the issue of, and has had the issue, oh my gosh, of not being dramatic and exciting in their music. Now, I just said it a minute ago, there is no music that exists. It's not, I am not an emotional person. I realize I'm acting emotional and weird, but it's part of my gig, you know. It helps people. It helps people, you know, like to be funny and happy. And so I'm saying I'm doing this not because I'm not an intellectual person or not because I'm not a classical musician. I mean, my degree is in the oboe. It's very classical. It goes like this. Oh, wait, there's no pipe in that. So anyway, the point is, just because the music is, it doesn't matter the kind of music. All music, every piece of music you got on your playlist that you listen to is exciting and dramatic and powerful. And so you must incorporate that into your music. You can't play accurately. Again, in an orchestra, I've been in the orchestras, play in the orchestra with my oboe. So I am playing, and so I'm just saying if I'm there's 8 second violins, okay, can they play robotically? Nothing, no heart, no nothing. Yeah. What does the director want? What does your choir director want in these formal ensembles? He's probably got on each part 1 or 2 people who are really good, and then other people are following. But what he wants is every single person is totally engaged, and they're making their music beautiful and lovely, and people are weeping, or people are standing up and saying yes, or people are going like I did in the beginning. People are, whatever they're doing with all their heart. So, and it's exciting, it's powerful. You don't have a song on your playlist. If it's a worship song, you're like, I'm worshiping God. If it's Le Tombeau de Couperon with Ravel, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so emotive. If it's Taylor Swift, you're emoting. And if it's Green Day or whoever it is, it's like you got that music because you like what it says, you like the way it's said. It is an emotion. And so in your music, you need to strive for that. You don't need to fight that. Nobody's going to come out. If you're not naturally emotional and demonstrative, nobody's going to come out if you try and do that. Nobody's going to go, oh my God, what's wrong with you? The reason is because if the emotion of it is hard for you to do, unusual, strange, a stretch, that means you can go nuts. In other words, in your mind, you're just going so crazy with drama, and what really happens is just a little beep, a little bit better. Now, me has worked on being emotional and visibly, into it and all this kind of stuff, and many other people, and plenty of people who are naturally emotional. So those people who are used to expressing things and being big and dramatic and all that kind of stuff. So those people do that stuff and they go for it. Well, yeah, they might be too, and that we have that word melodramatic, overly dramatic. You can't believe it. It's like, come on, what is wrong with you? And all I'm saying is, yes, that's right. So some people can't overdo it. And I'm saying to everybody, it's possible to overdo the emotion and excitement and drama. It's just not probable for anybody who kind of goes like, somebody saying, hey, you need to be more dramatic, you need to be more into the music. If somebody's saying that to you, most likely you can't now be more dramatic. So anyway, as far as that, you got to put that in your emotion, and that emotion, that drama, that power in your song. So if I go, ba da 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 da, but unless that's said, mezzo piano, and there were no, it was just a little thing. It would probably be better if I went da 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 da, and I worked hard to try to do the same exact rhythm. That was it had a little more dynamic feel. So I'm going to do one more, and so the last thing is that there's just no way around this. This is another student. I could say his name, but he'd be embarrassed. Not really. And I'm just using the students to be like, what is important? So rhythm, my gosh. Now, I've said this 100 times. Literally, I probably said it 2,000 times. But now follow me. As a player, I'm playing my instrument. I'm playing my instrument. I'm playing my instrument. What is most important to me is not to miss a pitch. So if I go, let me think of, well, I'll do chameleon. Da 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 da. Okay, not da 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 da. Okay, the note was wrong. So I am most focused on naturally, without thinking about it, get those darn notes right. Get the notes right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely right. But if I'm the listener, which you guys are listening to me right now, it's the rhythm that matters more. If I go da 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 da, that is a tremendously more significant mistake or issue. Uh-oh. I think I've lost my feed. Let's see if I've lost something here. Oh, boo. Okay, apparently I'm here. Let's see. Everything cut off. I'll try to fix this. I hope you guys hung in there. My link to this. Hey, there's people. Avia asked, what's the best music for babies? Hey, sorry about that. Hey, that's so sweet. I'm going to come back to the rhythm thing in just a second. I can't believe this, though. Seriously, guys. Apparently, I'm live the whole time. I bumped my keyboard, screen went off. It's all a bunch of stuff. So, anyway, for babies, the best thing for babies, apparently, is to play classical and not complicated music per se, but yes, intellectually stimulating music. And the point there, so classical, jazz, progressive rock, involved, not complicated. I mean, stuff you like, but also on the interesting side. Now, conversely, you could just play lots of music, any kind of music, but it period. In other words, the kids listen to music, they think about things, they think about pitches, they think about harmonies, they think about rhythms, they notice this stuff without any intention on their part. They're not trying to do that. It's just, here's this song, and it's got great harmonies, and it's got a great rhythm, and they're not going to get the lyrics just yet, but it's like the impact of the song is like this, so they will catch that and pick that up. And if the music is more complicated and they're listening to it a lot, I don't know if it's constant, but frequently, not once a week, but several hours a day of any kind of music, but then several hours a day of a classical or like I said, jazz or progressive rock or bluegrass, lots of bluegrass, and it's like a mentally challenging, stimulating thing. It seems to grip children, babies, and children, and opens up musical awareness and abilities to them. Any kind of music. You don't have to do that kind of music. Any kind of music, a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different kinds of music, many kinds of music would work. And then if you're like, want to stimulate my baby's mind, apparently it really does help to have a lot of different, it helps to have a lot of music in front of them, not just, once a week, but several hours. And it stimulates their mind. Mostly, from my standpoint, is musically, it makes them aware of all these parts of music without anybody telling them. So plenty of students and plenty of musicians have all this stuff that they can do automatically. They don't know how they're singing in tune. They don't know how they can sing a harmony. They don't know how they can keep a rhythm. They don't know how they can hear the difference between a minor chord and a major chord. They don't know, but they've been listening to all this music all their life, and it's just there. And then there are proven studies that listening to music and being a musician, especially as a student and from young age through at least high school, makes you brilliant and develops both sides of your brain. So let's go for that. All right, now I'm back. I can't believe it. I've actually got, hey, Fear Pink Ninja. So anyway, so I was talking about rhythm and I was going to quit. So here I am talking about rhythm. So the point is, I did my chameleon, doo-doo, doo-doo, So wrong notes are just mostly out of tune notes. Then I said, I as the musician want to get the notes right. That's what I'm thinking about. Oh gosh, I didn't play an F sharp. Oh gosh, I did crescendo. Oh gosh, whatever. And you get that lick in. That's what me as the musician, the producer of the music is concerned with. Me as the listener, though, is concerned about the time. Da 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 da. The song is destroyed. Now I want you to believe me on this. If I go do 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 so you are listening, you are reacting and agreeing with the timing. If I go bum 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 ba 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 beep ba. You are saying dun, dun. That's Great Gator Kiev by Mussorgsky, by the way. Anyway, when we hear music, the listener, the first thing they identify with is the time. Jew looks at me and suddenly I can see that. I have no idea what the words are, something like that. The first thing we get as the listener is the time. So when you're playing, you got to make the rhythm right. Now, I'm hesitating because that can mean you're cutting off beats. This will be the most basic of things. You're holding a chord out too long, too short. We could step that up and say, hey, you're not. This person's a better musician. Hey, you need accenting the strong beat. Trying to not move my head and not tap, so you get to feel. So you can feel, I know I'm moving my head a little bit, but my point is you can feel the time because now I'm accenting the beat. So I'm not just not cutting off measures and not making things too long. And many people, I would say a third of the students have trouble, and you may be one of these, they have trouble when there's a large gap. So if I go, my dad had that problem. So he would sing a song like, I'm trying to think of songs that got some gaps in it. So let's see, I would go, way down yonder in the Indian nation, the cowboy's life is my occupation. In the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Bump. So I got to wait that long. So he would go like, Oklahoma hills where I was born. He'd jump in because it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait 3 beats for that, I can't wait that time. So anyway, many different kinds of rhythm problems. We would get better and better and better. And the ultimate goal of our rhythm is, Mark says, I agree with you, says proselytizing rhythm. That's my word, is that I want you to listen to my song and the rhythm I'm singing, I'm playing. The rhythm is so aggressive and not aggressive. It could be a beautiful love song. Let's think, I'm trying to think of a love song. Anybody got some love songs for me here? Love song. Well, I'll do love song. So it could be a beautiful love song, but I want to go, lend an ear to a love song. A love song. Da dee da da ba boom boo. Da 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 da. Ooh, love song. Once you feel it. So I hope what that's coming out is you can feel like, it's not a particularly fast song or anything, but it's like it pulls you in. You can say, I hate what you're singing, I hate your music, I hate the voice, whatever it is. But that rhythm, that timing is so pervasive and so strong and so consistent that it pulls you in. So anyway, talking about a student who's having trouble with rhythm and even conceiving that it matters that he's doing things 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 whatever it happens to be. So you need to master that. This is a measure, 4 beats. But then once we get to where I fixed my mistakes, then we're like, I'm not making any mistakes. Then we would have, hey, guess what? I'm pulling people in with my cool rhythm. And it doesn't have to be a rhythmically powerful song. So I'm thinking, if it's popped in my head, this is a rhythmically cool song. Sugar, yes, please. Won't you come and put it down on me? I'm right here, 'cause I need little love, little sympathy. Yeah, you show me good love and make it all right. I just thought I'd sing it in falsetto to not to worry about anything. But the point is, hopefully I'm pulling people in with the music. Okay, that's going to be enough for today. If anybody's got any other questions, I'm going to let that go. And sorry about that huge break. My screen just is black. As far as I know, it's not doing a signal. So I'll try to correct that.